Morning everyone, please have a seat. So the grade 8s and 9s are away on their outdoor ed experience, and I invited the grade 7s to come and join us today, but they had something else within their routine during the week which meant they couldn't join. So it's just going to be as the grade 10s, which is fine, and I think it's second time through for me, but I'm really excited to hear again the presentation from the boarding leadership. It's such an important part of what we do here at QMS and an important part of the school, so you'll get a chance to hear a bit more about their experience and the variety of opportunities to develop skills and to explore Vancouver Island and beyond, and also try and connect with good day students as well, and the sort of local Canadian experiences wherever possible. So we'll pass over to Ms. Lyric and Mr. Jones, who are the two house directors of Denny and Geoghegan House, and let's welcome them and give them a
Hello everyone, we're here to talk to you about an aspect of QMS that you might not think about when you go home at the end of the day. So it's an important part of life here at QMS for a lot of our students.
I suppose we want to try and give you a bit of an insight into student boarding and what it's involved for the boys and girls here. When you go home at the end of the day, end of the week, you know, for them, it's some of their activities really start amping up and what they get involved in, their leadership roles and those kind of things. We want to talk about the activities that we do. I think this week, Friday, we've got a bonfire out at the farm with hot chocolate and those kind of things. There's hockey games, there's murder mystery stuff going on this weekend, but it's an opportunity for you guys. All of these things are advertised in the announcements, so come and see one of us, come and see one of the team here, and if you're interested in coming and joining and bridging the gap between us and being involved, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, you can also look in the atrium, and our activities captains put up posters on the wall of everything that's happening each weekend. We also have lots of empty beds in the house, so some of you have stayed. I'm looking at Layla, stayed over a few times. If you have a late sports game, or your parents are out of town, or you have a sleepover with one of the boarders, some of you have come for sleepovers. That's totally cool. Just come and talk to one of us and we can set you up. Depending on the situation, there's a charge involved or there isn't. It just depends on why you're staying in the house. So just come and have a chat with us and we can let you know. We especially have a lot of room on our side of the house. So we want to talk to you about the staff structure. So I'm Ms. Lyric. I'm the house director of Geoghegan House. Ms. Meir is the assistant house director, and Ms. Colosimo is the boarding assistant.
Kia ora whanau, I am Mr. Jones and I'm the house director of Denny. I've got a couple of superstars on my side. I've got Miss Donaldson, who's the assistant house director, and I've got Mr. Noah Charles, who's a boarding assistant.
And puts out fires.
There's a lot of stuff.
We also have Ching Lee, who is our boarding life coordinator. You've probably seen hanging out in the atrium there.
And Mr. Plater, who is our boarding director. He's away on outdoor ed at the moment, but he's around in the corridor as well.
Yeah. So enough about us. We want to give our student leaders a chance to talk. So we're going to introduce you to our heads of house. So our head of house for Geoghegan House this year is Victoria Phages.
And our head of Denny House this year is Songyeon Min.
Good morning. As Ms. Lyric said, I'm head of house this year for Geoghegan. When I first came here, I never thought I would be a boarding leader of any kind. Then halfway through last year, I became junior captain, and this year I'm head of house. In Geoghegan, we go by 3 main and fundamental values, which we call the 3 Gs: grace, growth, and gratitude. Last year, I also experienced a lot of growth because, well, once again, I didn't think I was going to be any leader, and also boarding made me ask myself who I wanted to become and pushes me towards that goal every day.
Hi, I'm Min, head of house from Denny side, and I've been in boarding since grade 8. And I want to tell you about motto that Denny has, which is Dom Vivimus Servimus. While we live, we serve. In Denny, people value to service to each other, so we build strong fellowships. I have met many people and I interact with them, and I learned a lot of values from them that affect my mindset. And I believe it's time me to offer service for others now. Yeah.
Okay, now we would like to call up the deputies so they can tell you more about the captain roles in the house. For Gagan, we have Sophia Lee and Aaliyah Wang.
And Deputy Head of House from Danny, Jimmy Chu and Harry Lin.
So our boarding house is a busy place with a lot of fun and activities, but to keep it organized and running well, we have students who take on captain roles.
All leadership positions in our houses are selected after an application and an interview process, just like a job. Everyone in the house leadership position was chosen after they wrote an email explaining their interests and gave an interview with the staff.
So we'd like to now introduce to you about the leadership position in the house and then give an idea about what they do.
When we say their names, they will stand and wave so you know who they are.
So first of all, we have duty captains. Duty captains ensure that everybody does their job, like taking the trash out or taking the afternoon snacks, and they keep things organized and done in the whole house. Could we get Jewel and Charlie to stand up, please?
Our activity captains organize fun trips and activity outside of school. They bring us the most entertaining experiences. We have Ryan, Steven, and Rose.
In the boarding house, as we all come from different countries, in order to make everyone feel more at home, our celebration captain often celebrate the festivals of various countries. They organize the boarding decoration and place culture dinner once a month. In addition to this, they celebrate the birthday of everyone in the boarding house, and they are Grace and Leo.
Our sustainability captains are in charge of teaching boarders how to properly sort their garbage to every garbage bin, such as sorting recycling and properly sorting compost, and they are Liam and Wendy.
Next up, we have the equestrian captains. So if you're in equestrian, you know that everybody has a different schedule, and it's really hard to keep track of this. So these captains help us keep track of everybody's equestrian schedule. Could we get Miyu and Bennett to stand up?
Our media captains take quality photos, which will be posted on the QMS Instagram account in our yearbook. They're responsible for capturing the most memorable moments of onboarding. We have Jason and Nagisa.
Junior captain take care of juniors to make sure they are led toward the right direction by feeling safe, organized, and humble. They make sure to help maintain and also connect relationships to broaden their perspective.
So we had our captains and our leaders go out into the community and find some questions that day students might have about boarding. Jewel, do you have a question about boarding?
Yeah. Where can boarders go during the weekends?
Boarders can go to 7-Eleven, Camco, or Fishmore only.
Yeah, but we also have full access to all of the campus after hours as well. So the gym and workout space and the farm and everything. Who else has Miyu? Have a question?
How does boarders need to go to bed usually?
Okay, so because there's different grades in the house, they have different bedtimes. Juniors, which are grade 5 to 8, go to bed at 9:30. Then grade 9 and 10 go to bed at 10. Grades 11 and 12 go to bed at 10:30.
And on the weekends, that's an hour later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do any of you have any questions about boarding? Anybody? We had a question yesterday. If you are staying in the house, if you've arranged that with one of us, where do you go? How do you get into the house? So if you are staying overnight in the house, you go and you talk to the boss, and the boss is Ching. Okay, you go to the atrium and Ching will know which room you're staying in. She'll know all the information, how to get you sheets and pillows and all of that. Okay, so Ching is, and if you don't know who Ching is, she's that super cool lady with the red scarf and the sunglasses there. Okay, that's Ching. Okay, any other questions? Anybody? Yeah, Miss Polly.
What's the best thing about being a boarder at QMS?
Ooh.
Maybe you didn't mean it.
There's more interaction between your friends, so you can like make more like memories, like fun memories with your friend. I guess that's the like most advantage that you can have in boarding.
Yeah, good one.
Can I also add?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would also say that the independence you get from living on your own, like without your parents, that's also a huge thing.
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Reynard?
I just wondered if there were any trips, like kind of like special trips, or bigger trips or anything upcoming that might sort of whet my appetite. If I was a day student, I might want to maybe get involved in, there might be some space.
Miss Meir, you want to talk about spring break?
Well, it's coming up in the spring break, and it's going to be 2 weeks from 8th until the 21st. And we're going to be visiting Barcelona and Andorra.
Yeah. And then on weekends, we have like a Vancouver trip coming up in November. We have Whistler trips coming up in January. We have a West Edmonton mall trip, which is like a crazy experience to be in a mall for 3 days. But there's like a water park and an amusement park inside that mall. It's a crazy mall. There's an ice rink. Yeah. So big activities like that we have throughout the year. Yeah.
And we would encourage as many day students as possible to get involved and jump on board. I mentioned yesterday, and just for me, like coming from New Zealand and being in this hotbed really of different cultures from all over the world, it's been fantastic getting to know different people, different cultures. But for you guys coming in as well, it's you see each other at school, but being part of staying overnight and those extra activities really helps get an understanding of where people are from, and it really helps us grow as a community. So we would love to have you come and hang out with us as much as you like.
Yeah, we've talked about doing like a poker night where we invite day students, or a basketball tournament. We had like an outdoor movie night where we watch Barbie. So things like that, day students, especially those of you who live in a nearby neighborhood, can just come and pop in for that as well. So come and talk to us if you're interested in joining any of our activities. Yeah, thank you so much for learning more about our boarding family.
So I hope that was informative for many of you who didn't know that much about the boarding experience, or what the opportunities were, or how you can connect with that. We have DBR at the moment out in Vietnam with Tango Vu, who's our Director of Finance. And he sent me a message the other day about how much he's learning about that culture and about that society and the way that they do things and their approach to life. And I think that with an open mind and being amongst other cultures like we are here in the boarding house, in finding time to interact with people who've come from other places and grown up in different societies, I think that's a really important part of our personal and individual education too. So please try and do that as much as you can. As Min said, the quality of relationships and with all that time spent together in the boarding house, they really do form a bond that surpasses often normal friendships. Like at the end of the year banquets that they have, the sort of closing nights in the boarding house, there's rarely a dry eye in the house as they sort of bid each other a farewell, whether it's for the summer or for a longer period of time, because they're graduating the school and heading off to new challenges. So I just want to take the time to really thank all the student leaders, both from Denny and from Geoghegan House, for everything that you bring to trying to generate the right kind of environment and the right kind of culture in the house, and as well to the staff leadership for all of the responsibility that you take on for looking after all the students and making sure that it's a really rich and rewarding experience. And collectively in the chapel, again, I hope you took a few things away from this morning, and I'd like you to join me in thanking everyone from Denny and Geoghegan again.